Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning to all those joining in for another episode of Battle Nations Radio, guys. This is episode 17, and we are joined here by Emperor. And just going to do a sound check real quick, make sure everything's good to go, and then we'll get going here, man. We have a fun night planned. Imp, can you do a little sound test? Alrighty, I hope that worked. There's a chance that I'm going to have to here. Let's go ahead and share the screen. Window. Alrighty. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? Test, test, test.
I'm good on my end.
Good on my end. Okay. Chat, can you all hear Emperor?
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
And guys, let me go ahead and get. Sorry, I came flying in today, fellas. Let's get some comments up on stage here too. That's fun. Sounds good. All right. So, guys, welcome on in, everyone. We have the pleasure of being joined by Emperor today. We'll do a quick week in review of Battle Nations real quick, and then we're gonna get into our main topic. So for week in review here, I think you're a donator general, right?
Correct.
Perfect. So the big talk of the town, and as you've probably seen on other streams, is that Guilds has been previewed, or the UI of Guilds has been previewed in Donator General. We're going to go ahead and pull that up, and we're just going to go ahead and, Imp, I kind of want to get your opinion on things. Chat, I want to get your opinion on things too. My virus protection ended. Nobody hack my computer, please. But let's go ahead and pull that up, go into the Battle Nations Discord here. And Imp, I want to get your thoughts on which UI you like the best. I got some opinions. But let's get you first. We'll start off with kind of a layup here. We'll do what were the two options here, so y'all can see my screen. What's going on, everyone? I appreciate seeing everyone in the chat. We got Boca, we got Clace, we got Halkin. How you doing, man? Hey guys, make sure to go subscribe to Halkin right now. Halkin, drop your YouTube link in the chat. Let's get him some. He makes some cool videos. Talking about some reskins for the units. They're really cool. Halkin, make sure to drop that that YouTube channel in the chat. We have JTV. What's going on, man? We got Drifter. Hey, Drifter, I appreciate you reaching out for those suggestions. That was awesome. Yeah, guys, looks like we got the whole gang here. All right, so Emperor, you going top or bottom here?
Ooh, well, I'm not too terribly much of a stickler when it comes to aesthetics, but if I had to choose, I'm sorry, I got to go with bottom there. Don't get me wrong, top looks perfectly fine. If you like this top, I'm with it. But bottom, I don't know why, but left having the little crown and then right having your level, that just looks natural to me.
All right, Boca is saying I like two. Alrighty, so we're getting some props to two here. I am really heavily neutral on this one. I think it could go either way for me, but neither one's screaming to me, I gotta say. But I think they're both good. I think just kind of go with your gut on this one, and that's kind of my advice to the devs. And this one was cool. We could see right here, if you can see my cursor, we have Boss Strike points earned. That means they are thinking about Boss Strike. And we do have gold donated as well. There are going to be some high donations on gold because people have some gold to upload. Yeah, JTV, I've been leaning one, but I mean, realistically looking at them, I don't know if I like it like, I almost want it like diagonal or something like that. I don't know why I want that. It feels weird if it's on like a plane for both of them are on a plane, but all right. So kind of a mixed bag here. I like that though. But are you pretty excited to see this? I mean, this is pretty cool to see.
Dude, me certainly, dude. Like guilds, in my opinion, even from the start, dude, from beta days, like guilds and boss strikes were like two of the biggest updates I've been looking to personally for the longest time. So I feel like we're finally arriving at that. We're about to get guilds like super soon, and as soon as you get that, I mean, next logical conclusion is boss strikes. So yeah, I feel like we're right there, and I'm freaking excited for it, especially since we're now getting images for it. Because if we already have images, they're already getting the UI built, like we can see right here. It's not that far off, I would believe.
Yeah, I'm kind of. They're not gonna flex until they're almost ready. So I'm excited about that. And then let's go to the more controversial one because we have I think this one's everyone's kind of between a couple here. So here are the options for looking up a guild. So let's say I'm looking up Imp. Your guild is called the Empire, correct?
Correct.
Alrighty. So let's say I'm looking up the Empire here. I got a couple different options. I can go option A, option B. Feel like I'm giving an eye exam right now. Do you like A or 1 or 2? 1 or 2? No. Option C. Let everyone get a good look at that. And then option D. Emperor, I know you've had some time to look at this, man. What are you thinking?
Well, first, I just wanted to say I love your comparison. I don't think I've ever heard anybody describe it so accurately so far. It really is like a eye exam. Like, dude, I'm not gonna lie. When I got these, I was like, okay, are these all the same image? Like, I had to go through them and legitimately find each difference. But all jokes aside, I think all of them are good. I'm kind of in favor. Again, it's not like you. I'm not a big stickler on it. I am glad that the community gets to decide, though. I think that's awesome. For me, though, gotta be honest. I'm gonna go with B only because I got a whole. Yeah, it's what I initially picked. A few other people picked, and I'm not going to name it, but like it's the thing most people pick in silence. And the only other one I could say is pretty hot is D, but my pick is B.
Okay, and that you kind of leaned into mine. My like Boca said, my pick. I love option D. I think it's the best. I think it kind of I like that it makes it kind of gets the picture mostly clean out there. I like that it has all the info to the right side, and then the left side is just you. People do not like option C. People are not vibing with option C. I don't hate it, but we got Boss Strike Boys, Artichoke Army, and Cabbage Combatant Command. Interesting, but yeah. So I will. D is organized as well. Yep. Yeah. So lots of different opinions here. Guys, I will keep you. I'll make a post. We will have gameplay footage, everything like that when guilds come out. We have something special planned for when guilds come out. So to be, keep an eye out for a post regarding that. That's going to be really fun. But yeah, it looks like they really are just on the finishing touches on this. Imp, final predictions. What is your lock-in date of when do you think this drops?
Ooh, a lock-in date. Freak. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw out a pick. I think next week.
Next week, like next Friday.
You know what? Yeah, let's go next Friday, next weekend. Start next weekend. I think that would be a crazy drop. I think everybody would go insane.
Nice. So last week's episode, I did my we talked about my my roadmap going forward for Battle Nations, what I think is going to happen in the game. And I said on that episode, I said November 14th, which is next Friday for guilds. But I also said November 27th for the first boss strike, which is ambitious, but we'll see. I think we could get it as little as this weekend, in all honesty. I'm pretty, if they're releasing this, I think they're really close to the end here. But we'll see, guys. Lots of exciting stuff to come. But chat, when do you think we're going to see these guilds? Not boss strike. When do you think we're going to see the guilds? I'm curious to hear everyone's opinion on that. But Emperor, onto this next news segment. I'm going to call weekly pickups. So like, what units or what ranks were you picking up this week in Battle Nations? Anything you want to talk about? I know you have a bunch of different accounts, so I think you're gonna have to specify which account. But you know what, you kind of know what I'm talking about here.
Dude, absolutely, dude. I like that. Yeah, great pick. For me, I've been grinding, so I only have Wimps maxed on 2 accounts, but I've been grinding them, especially on all accounts this past week with all this guild news. I've also been grinding up and training a bunch of UMGs. I feel like UMGs are going to get a huge boost, especially with guilds coming out and boss strikes right down the corner, because I think they're going to be a star. So yeah, for me, mainly just to gain the Wimps up on everything. And also, I'm not going to lie, I've been grinding out the UMGs on everything, just trying to get more up, because I think those are going to be like your 2 MVPs for the first boss strike.
Yeah, I think so. I can't believe you're doing multiple Wimp grinds, though. That blows my mind.
I mean, once you get done, at least when I got done on my main, I was like, okay, well, now I've been trained to enjoy the process of the Wimp grind. Like, that was at least the problem for me. Because, everybody's like, oh, I hate the Wimp grind, hate the Wimp grind. I'll be honest, I was kind of like, when I got my maxed out on main, I was like, well, what do I do now? I can't throw a Wimp in the background and have him shoot once and then just, let all my other boys take care of the work. Come on, that's Battle Nations at this point. So, yeah, I honestly have fun with it. That's what I would say. I don't view it as a chore. I view it as a weird challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. Let me go ahead and I'm going to drop a stream link here. Just for got to do a little bit of self promotion before we get into the main tonight.
I can completely understand that.
So guys, bear with me real quick. I came in hot. But alrighty. And so yeah, my weekly pickups, chat. I want to hear your weekly pickups too. But my weekly pickups, biggest flex. I got an ironclad. Officially, I got one.
Woo.
I'm done with it. It's already R2. That's my big pickup. I've been picking up a lot of heavier tanks, just like UMP. I've been doing the UMGs in the background too. I got some more vehicle factories. We are in World War II mass production phase. I mean, it is time to get ready for Boss Strike. You can feel it in the air. I appreciate that, Clays. Thank you. And how can I say? Maybe mid-November guilds and December Boss Strike, since people are on vacation, holiday break. Also, be our Battle Nations present. That would be awesome. Is it only BNAP left? It might be. That's awesome. But yeah, so Ironclad, big things also are going to be, we just promoted Heaviers to R5, so those are done. Currently working on R6. We have Veterans are ranking up to R5 as we speak, and we got Lightning Dragoons ready to promote to R6. So I don't have a lot of steel right now. But Chad, I want to hear, what have you been ranking up? Any weekly pickups, any boss drop pickups. I like that new segment, weekly pickups. It's something I'm going to kind of stick with here. Just to see what everyone's kind of getting week over week. I think that's been fun. Or what people are mass producing. Yeah, Tio, man. Tio has some good luck. I know somebody who got a 5. Heavier veteran salamanders is what I'm doing now. Dude, salamanders are sneaky. People like the salamanders. But yeah. So guys, main event tonight, and this is a fun one. Been kind of thinking, and I don't know if you've seen it, but the dev team has been exponentially growing. I mean, we're getting new developers all the time. It seems like they're rocking and rolling and able to produce content at a much faster rate than they were originally. I would word it as it seems like they are no drops. Reading that out. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here, but it seems like it's a little bit less Wild West for them at this point, and more so, they've got a pretty good system down. You kind of getting that vibe too, Emperor.
Dude, absolutely. I mean, even going back to, the interview with Boris, which, I'm still honored we were, given the right, you had an interview with Boris and then he gave me the right to interview with Boris, which, I'm still honored about. But I would say, at least from what he talked with me, he made, the, not a promise, but I guess just the clarity that he was recently hired on full time in Madrona. Again, even in the moment, that shocked me because I was like, bro, this guy, who I would argue is the face of, Madrona, one of their best PR consultants, just recently became full time. So that was kind of a shock to me. But I completely agree with you. I feel like the team's expanding now. It's finally getting a full time set of developers who can work on it and put their full attention to it. We're watching Madrona go from kind of like this project to like an actual gaming company. And I love that. And I think guilds, especially the multiplayer aspect, is going to be kind of the fire in the gasoline, if you will, kind of the spark that takes it all off. Because once we get multiplayer and we get advertising, sky's the limit, Yeah,
exactly. And I'm gonna set up
advertising.
So give me 1 second.
Okay.
But yeah, no. Once they get going on that, I think they're going to be really, really doing something special there. But yeah, so kind of leading into that, Emperor, we talked a little bit about it offline, and for those who were in Donator General today, y'all saw my ask to the community. Is I want to talk about suggestions. There's a suggestions tab in Discord, and we'll go ahead and flip over to that now, where people are able to, suggest things to the devs. People can give their feedback on the suggestions. They can like it. It's a good way for devs to get kind of a pulse as to what people want, what people would be kind of like looking to get in the game. Emperor, have you made a suggestion?
I have not made any suggestion in the official Discord. No, I have not, unfortunately.
Okay. So guys, this is a good time. If you have any suggestions you want to think about, maybe let's test it out in here and see if you want to post it. I mean, the more suggestions, the better. What's going on, UB Combo? I hope you're having a good evening. Thank you for joining the stream. But yeah, guys, I'm going to need some audience participation. And obviously, I'm going to need some participation from you tonight. Hobby, what do I do as a career? I work in construction, which people do not see as, but yeah, I work in construction. But yeah, so here are the rules for tonight. People sent me suggestions they wanted me to review during this. I'm going to try and go through as many as possible. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them. There are just so many. But if you sent me a suggestion, we will be reviewing it together on the channel tonight. We're going to rank these suggestions out of 10. And I want, Emperor, I want you to think about this. Chat, I want you to think about this when we're doing these rankings, is I want you to think about 3 factors for these rankings. And the first factor is going to be ease of implementation, right? So ease of implementation to me means how easy or how quickly is it going to be a pain for the devs to implement? Is it something they can do relatively easy? That's factor number 1. So think about that. You tracking that, Imp? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. How hard it would be for them to implement the idea.
Yep. And we're just taking educated guesses here. I'm not a dev. If y'all have coding or dev experience, obviously I want to hear that feedback in the chat. But that's factor number 1. Factor number 2 is going to be player enjoyment / game breakability. Like, is it how much is the player going to enjoy this? The player, is it going to add more players to the game? Or that's in factor 3. How much is the player going to enjoy this? And is it going to be game breaking? Is it going to like increase, is it going to keep the game competitive, or is it going to make, kind of widen the gap? Player enjoyment, widen the gap, make sure people are enjoying it and it's not going to cause too many hiccups. You tracking that one?
Oh yeah.
All right, and the last factor number 3 we're going to be talking about is profitability. Profitability comes in 2 forms to me for the game. So it's number 1, is this going to cause people to buy more nanos? Or 3 factors. Is it going to cause people to buy more nanos? Is it going to cause people to be engaged in the game for longer periods of time? And is it going to attract new players? And how is it going to attract new players? So you tracking all 3 of those. Are those making sense?
So making sure it's for the benefit of the game, making sure it's for the benefit of Madrona so they can keep the game running, and making sure it makes the game overall better.
Yes. Yep. Perfect. Alrighty, guys. I want everyone to think of that. We're gonna go ahead and get into them. And what's going on, Clatch? I appreciate that, man. That means the world. We've been trying to have more fun topics, more fun segments, really make audience participation. I'm reading every comment. Yeah. So I work as a manager in construction now. I used to work. I used to be an actual builder though, so that's been kind of my career path. But yeah, so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at some suggestions. And guys, if you think of one, drop it in the chat. Make sure, also before we get into it, please hit that like button. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 500, and we do have a nano giveaway once we give to 500 subscribers. So guys, make sure to hit that. But alrighty. Drifter sent me the first recommendation. Guys, this is a really fun one. He added some art to this, so I thought this was really cool. And I'm going to be keeping track. So also, side note, I forgot to mention. Sorry, I need to get my notes out, which are on my phone. I will be keeping track of, we'll do, I give my rating, Emperor gives his rating, and we'll factor in the crowd rating, average those out, and that'll be the rating for the thing. I will annoy the devs and make sure that they see the top 3 suggestions. They're not going to comment on it or anything like that, but I'll just pass it along essentially. So with that, Drifter, he was in chat tonight. He has this super cool art piece that he put together that takes a lot of talent, so that was really cool to see. And this is going to be Boss Rush Weekend. So Drifter says, when limited time events return, I think there should be an event that can help players get more chances at boss drops. How it works is for a week or weekend, all bosses have a 24-hour respawn timer. So for a week long, you would be able to battle each boss 7 times. I think this would be beneficial and could be an easy on the devs' part to implement to flip a switch every once in a while to promote more player engagement. Interesting. So just taking a look at some of the comments here. It's a phalanx tank. Whoa, that's a giant tank. Appreciate it. Yeah, I dig it. Good suggestion. Would like to see it. I hit the like button. He's got 69 likes. Nice. But he did make this really cool graphic. And one piece of feedback that I was kind of talking with Drifter a little bit offline about is that, and Imp, let me know what you think about this. It is so let's say this is for a week or maybe 5 days or something along those lines. I would decrease the amount of tier 3 and tier 4 resources you get from these boss fights in order to not create inflation to the Battle Nations economy, but I would still leave the boss unit drop rates alone, if that makes sense. So like let's say for example I'm fighting the Ancient Construct. You usually get 20 gears, 20 bars, maybe you get 5 per. But you still have the same percentage chance to get the Dexter and the Sinister. So now that I've gotten all that word salad out of the way, Emperor, how are you feeling about this one, man?
Well, first I just want to say I love the art, dude. Drifter did an amazing job here. This looks like something Z2 would have released back in the day. I actually am in love with this promo. So just wanted to say the guy who made it, Drifter, did a fantastic job. This is an amazingly designed promo. And as far as the concept, for me, my only concern is the drop rate. So pretty much exactly what you said. I love the concept of being able to battle these bonds maybe for 1 week. You get to battle every single boss every single day. That's super fun. That's super exciting. My only fear would be, again, just, people being able to get way too many widgets, way too many laurels off the AC.
Yeah.
And this is me being petty, but like, take somebody who has a whole bunch. We just mentioned him, Tio, right?
Yeah.
Tio has 4 ironclads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say him, anybody who might have 5 or more fragments, anybody who might have several tentacles. I would hate for this challenge to drop and then them feel kind of scrubbed, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, imagine being a person with like 5 boss drops right now. Everybody's calling you lucky, cool, everything. And then this drops. And then, a bunch of people are able to get several boss drops because, we all fought a bunch of bosses back to back to back. So that would be my only fear. It's a really small one. But yeah, final conclusion, implement it. That would be my only concern, diluting, the boss drop market and, like you said, the resource market. But as far as a fun little idea, it's in the spirit of XP and SP weekends. I like it. I think it's cool.
I agree. My only like you said, my only concern is creating inflation in the Battle Nations economy with widgets, gears, bars, the whole 9 yards. It could lead to some disproportionate, boss drops. We'll see. The art is really attracting it to me. I would say so on ease of implementation. I'm gonna give this one a 9. It seems pretty like high is good here. So 9 means pretty easy. This doesn't seem terribly difficult to implement. So I think that's fine. In terms of players would like it. I'm gonna give it a 7 because I think what you said is it could really start to widen that gap, and that's what I'm worried about. And in terms of profitability, I'm probably going to give this one an 8. Because I think people will be spending nanos to heal stuff to fight the bosses. Especially if it's with the Goliath tank and everything like that. What's going on, Murph? How are you doing, man? We have 6 bosses, throw an Emperor Sandworm. We have 7 for the whole week. So yeah, my final score here is an 8. Emperor, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna give it like a 9.9 on possibility because again I don't think it'd be that hard, like you said, just mainly a quick code change for the weekend.
Yeah.
For its profitability for the game, I'm gonna give it maybe a 7, just
Yep.
because I think again it'd be harder for them, but again balanced out by the nanos.
Mhm.
And then finally an 8 for player enjoyment. I think everybody would like it. I think people who already have bosses stockpiled would be the only people who might be upset with it. Everybody else I think would view it as a net win.
Okay, perfect. So we're 8 across the board. Chat, do we have any thoughts on this? People love the hey, Madrona, you have a free thing. Yeah, Murph, it's open
Oh,
door
Murph,
policy,
we would
man.
love
Yeah,
you.
yeah, hop on in. But yeah, I think I think 10 to Drifter. I mean, I really want to like really highlight that Drifter has a good talent here. I mean, y'all have seen my thumbnails; they look like a third grader made them. But Drifter is I mean, Drifter's cooking with this. But yeah, I think 8 overall. I think there's a lot of good stuff going on here. It has 69 likes, so the community is loving it. Guys, if you want to show support for these, not just in here, but it helps, just go leave a like for these suggestions. So that's super helpful right there. That helps everyone. But yeah, so Drifter, thank you for that submission. I think that's awesome, guys. Go show Drifter suggestions some love in the Discord. You do not have to be a donator. It is under general public channels in the Battle Nations Discord. So that's number one. Number 2, and Emperor. This one's special to me because this is one that I submitted. So this is a very, very important. This is a very important one to me because this is something that I really think would be awesome for the game. But I'm going to abstain from ranking this myself because obviously I'll give it a 10. So let me give Drifter an 8 here.
No problem. Once you go ahead and read it, Murph and I will rate it for you.
Perfect. In chat, I want you to be rating these as well. Remember the criteria we talked about. But guys, so this is add exclusive decoration for boss strike winners. So what I said was add a winnable decoration for each boss strike. That's something along the top 50 guilds get each member in the guild. This would help commemorate each boss strike as well. There could be different versions for the top 10 or top guild. The decoration would be just to show off on your base and would add no bonus effects as to not widen the skill gap. So my idea for this is think about the arena challenges that we had. Y'all are familiar with the units. There's top 75 guilds, the top 10 guilds, and the top guild got. But one decoration for each boss strike. It can be like a bronze, gold, or bronze, silver, and gold option. This to me makes it so people keep playing boss strike from the very start to the very end. People don't go, hey, I got to tier 10 or hey, I got to tier 11, I'm tapping out. It keeps people competitive through the whole time to get that spot. People love their decorations. Yeah, it's basically just a kind of, it's a trophy system essentially. It's a way to kind of flex and show, hey, we were the top guild in that boss strike. But yeah, that's it. Chat, Marf, I'm gonna let y'all take it from here.
Oh yeah, I'll take the lead and then give it to Murph if you guys are cool with that. Just wanted to say, so all jokes aside, Hoppy, this is like my favorite suggestion. I adore this. As somebody who wants Flames Force to come back as an exclusive boss strike, I think this would be a great compromise. Something that would obviously be exclusive and limited edition to the players who were there for that boss strike to be able to show that they were, OGs, kind of were there when it happened. Yeah. But also, it's a decoration, so it's not going to be like a unit to where you have to worry about balancing it, changing it, maybe bringing it back for new players. Yeah. That type of ordeal. I think, I mean, you're doing what most limited edition things do in video games. You're making it cosmetic as opposed to something that's actually in the game. So, dude, I love that. And for that, I want to give it an 11 out of 10. So, I'm down with the idea. Murph, what are your thoughts, man? Also, what's going on today, Murph? How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I was just editing, but now just gonna take a little break.
There you go.
Tune into Hobby's stream. I think this is a really cool idea. I definitely agree that it's nice to have it not be like something super exclusive where it's like special unit if you're number one. Yeah. Kind of like what happened with the arena challenges. I would say that maybe there's like a little nano prize attached to that with the decoration. But even if that wasn't part of it, I think this is a great idea. I think either a 9 or a 10 out of 10.
Perfect. Yeah, and the thing that I like about this too is that I think we all agree that we'd like some form of Guild Wars in the future. Would you all agree to that?
Hmm.
This is almost a way to have Guild Wars before Guild Wars come out, as the guilds can be competing against each other versus it's a PvP. It's a kind of a PvP and a PvE at the same time. And I'm down for nanos, but frankly, I'm a decorations whore. So I would honestly prefer a unique decoration over a nano, but I would take both. It's a good idea. Maybe if we do a boost, maybe it could be timed like a month and then stops, so it makes you want to be top again in the next strike. Yeah, so it'd be a different decoration for every boss strike. Like it's never the same, essentially.
Yeah, that dude, tier 1 decoration is gonna go so hard, dude. Imagine having like the top 100 guild decoration for the first boss strike. That's gonna be such a status symbol.
That'd be awesome. Okay, well, not gonna toot my own horn there, but I'm gonna give myself a 9.
Dude, I mean, it wouldn't be that expensive to implement. I don't think it would take away anything from the game economy.
No.
And it would be super easy to implement. It doesn't take away anything from it. I think players would love it. So, dude, yeah, 9 or 10s across the board. If we want to be a little bit more humble, we'll go with 9. But yeah, dude, great suggestion there, Javi.
Yeah, I really, I have already forwarded this one along to the devs, so this one is out of the running for the competition today, but I just wanted to promote this one.
Oh, fantastic, dude. 'Cause I was about to say, like, this is a lock-in for one of the 3, so I'm glad. Now we still have 3 options.
Yeah, you still have 3 options. And then, all right. This was by D. He wanted to talk about this one, rotating promo unit store. Alrighty. Suggestion. This is by Dartham. I always like the idea of a limited stock weekly rotating promo unit store. So they're always available, no FOMO like the old game, but still released to us in a trickle of sorts to maintain their specialness and balance. How it would work. A random selection of units would be available, with each one having a limited number of purchases before it goes out of stock. At the end of the week, or maybe every day, depending on the desired balance, the store refreshes with a new random spread of units is available. Units could be sold individually, or maybe an occasional themed discounted bundle, i.e. mechanized warfare bundle sells mech tank, mech trooper, mech artillery together, and a slight discount for total price. Certain units could be more rare than others depending on how good they are if desired. Why the community benefits? Primarily, it would eliminate the FOMO that dominated promo units in the original game. This would allow us to collect our favorite units without the pressure to buy them immediately or miss out. It would also let us budget our nanos and allow for more steady flow of nano purchases over time. Examples, I believe Plants vs. Zombies 2 does something similar to this. SWGOH, I don't know what that is, sort of does this as well on a larger scale. Alrighty, we're gonna go through the comments here real quick. Just had a thought. It's worth noting that the units would probably still be limited by training times in the factory barracks in this case, but not an instant buy that might disrupt balance. Yeah. And so basically, is it like how I'm viewing this is like a stock market, or not a stock market, but it's a limited drop essentially every day. So there's only a limited amount that you can buy. Z2 should have done this instead of the stupid vault. People are very high on this. Yeah, guys. I first want to say I really like the way that Dartham. He did a really good job of listing out his idea and explaining it very well, and giving different pointers each. So I love that. But Murph, I'm going to turn it over to you. You got some thoughts on this one?
I love this idea. I think having a promo unit store that not only just has like promo units, but it could also have like discounted normal nano units. Like maybe you could get a vet for 50 or 60 nanos instead of 75. I think it would be fantastic, and it would actually I feel like it would not I feel like it would actually elevate how many people would be buying promos, because they would feel like they're getting a deal, or it's like, oh, my favorite promo is back, and it's not. Because like what usually happens is it's like a promo unit releases in 2013 in like February, and then you don't see it again until like 2015 or something like.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think this is a great idea.
Do you think that the store in your perfect world would the store refresh daily, weekly? How would you kind of do that?
I think either weekly or bi-weekly.
Okay. Yeah. Imp, what are you thinking here?
Well, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to go against the grain on this one. Love the suggestion. I think the commenter put a great deal of thought into it, and I love the concept. The one thing that doesn't do it for me is the weekly rotation of promo units. And I want to be very clear here. I am taking the underdog position. I was sitting here in silence, deciding if I really wanted to speak my mind, and I just decided to speak it because might as well, right? If you can't speak
Yeah.
your mind about a video game, might as well,
Mhm.
right? But I mean, yeah, I love the concept. I think if it were to be done, it would probably be done in a design like this because the idea of a weekly rotating shop, I think, could work. I think it just comes down to the question of limited edition units in Battle Nations. This has been a question ever since the beta. It's going to be a question ever since till we see them back in the game and we have that confirmation. Do you guys want there to be truly limited edition units? Do you guys not? If there were to be something like, let's say, a handful of promo units, old promo units that come back for like seasonal, like for example, the Infected that just happened, right? Let's say they don't come back and they only come back every Halloween. I'm cool with that. I love that, but we must not call them promo units. The idea behind at least a promo unit for me was it was cool, unique, it was not overpowered, and you never came back with it. And Z2 ran with that for the longest time until the buyout, then they bring back the Secret Vault, and then, they just dilute everything, the entire game, right? So for me, I think the concept here could work out. Maybe you have a set amount of old promo units that get turned into a weekly stock on shop that go up every so often. But it just cycles back to the question of, do you want this to be all of the old promo units, or do you want this to be like maybe the majority and then have a few be truly limited edition? Or maybe do it by power ranking like the legendary animals. They're too good to be truly limited edition. I'll even admit that. So maybe you have them
Yeah.
on rotation, and then some of like the worst guys like the zombie hunter, who's more like cool, you could have him be truly limited edition for one Halloween. I think this ties into a bigger question, but again, I really want to specify the suggester. I could tell put a lot of thought into this. If promo units were to be recycled, I think this would be a great idea. I personally am just against the tradition.
Okay. Okay. So, all right. Will there be boosts with the decorations? Boica, I think you're a little bit behind. I wouldn't give boost to the decorations on my thing. I think it's more so just a flex. And then Howkin was saying maybe sometimes make it cost in-game resources for in-game for nanopod units, one vet for 10 laurels, one limited for people tight on funds. So, okay. So where I stand on this is I think that promo units are relatively easy, or they're relatively already in the game. So I don't think implementing the promo units themselves will be anything difficult. I think a promo store implementation won't be too hard, but it'd be the hardest of the suggestions that we talked about tonight. So for that, I'm going to give that a 6 on that metric. I don't think it's going to be terribly difficult, but definitely something that they'll have to continually manage if it's a thing. In terms of player enjoyment, I really think there's been an outstanding pour of love on the community from this. It's a 9. I mean, I can't give it a 10 because there are people that don't want this to happen. So it's a 9. And in terms of profitability, it really depends on the pricing model that they do. I think realistically, I'd probably give this about an 8 in terms of profitability. I think people would be tempted to buy more if they were truly limited edition or were more so limited edition than this. But if there was some sort of in-game limited edition stock of the unit, that could be a little bit different. That stock's going to take a little bit to kind of like even out to figure out like, hey, is this too much stock? Is this too little stock? So I would imagine the first couple passes, they're either going to overstock or understock something. I'm almost thinking of this. I'm not like a sneakerhead or anything like this, or I don't know, maybe there are people into like Pokemon or anything like that, but I'm almost worried about like a scalper culture with this if you limit it. Does that make sense what I'm saying? And maybe I'm reading this completely wrong.
Oh no, dude, absolutely. Especially if you can trade them. But from my understanding is it was just like you sell them at points with nanopods, only nanopods in that, and then you can't trade accounts that to get TOS, so then you'd just be, risking the entire account. But if like you can trade these units, oh dude, that's gonna start a whole Battle Nations, market. I mean, yeah, people buying and selling, promo units.
So I wasn't talking about trading them more so. It seems like, so let's say there is a Murph. Murph, help me out here. I think you're most hip to this suggestion. Like let's say there's a store, right? And it has this week, this rotation this week, it's for a week. They have the mech troop, they have the dude, I don't even know the promo units off the top of my head. Give me some random promo units here.
Random promo unit, Blood Ninja.
Yeah, Blood Ninja, and
Wandering
they.
Samurai.
What was
Wandering
that?
Samurai. Wandering Samurai. Do you mean like the good one? Like the very good, the good one, the
It
as a
does.
joke one?
No, doesn't matter. It could be any of them. I'm just using this as a reference point. So we have the Blood Ninja, the Wandering Samurai, and the Mech Trooper. Those are all available, and they have a quantity of 1,000 each, right? So once players in the game train 1,000 Mech Troopers, is that Mech Trooper out of stock for this rotation? Is that right, Murph?
I would think so. That
Okay.
is, unless there's like a artificial limit, or if it's like you can only get one or
Okay.
3 or something.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think an artificial limit would be good because I'd be worried about scalpers. I mean, come on, we've all visited bases where there are what 10 vehicle factories going at once. That's crazy. It's awesome. It's great for the game, but that would be my concern there. I like this idea. I think this is a good idea. I think my only issue is I worry about balancing because I am still with Imp a little bit here. I wouldn't want I would only want these to kind of show up in the promo store like once every 6 months. Maybe that's too long for some people, but I don't really want them to show up too frequently because I do like the tidbit of exclusivity to it. And maybe that's me being a little bit, I don't know, pretentious or, wanted to have that ooh shiny thing sort of deal. But yeah, and then how can with the suggestion here say meet certain requirements to feel a little bit more fulfilling when you make your purchase for the monthly unit rotation, like kill 50 raider encounters to unlock the purchase of Blood Ninja Limit 1. So Halkin is definitely advocating for the free to play here. So Halkin's advocating for Denny of like, hey, this is how we are going to do that. Okay. All right. I think overall I'm at a solid 8.5 on this one. That's where I stand on it. I think the hardest thing is going to be implementation in terms of figuring out the economics of it and in terms of implementing it and having it be functional. That would be I think it would be a little bit of a rough launch to it, would be my only concern.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, alrighty. Imp, final score?
8.5.
8.5. Okay. Max Sally, we're live, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
I saw it.
Just wanted to make sure. I didn't want you to, get yourself in trouble. But yeah. Do you have any rating here on this one?
No, I did not read it. I joined it halfway, so
All good. All
I'm
right,
gonna reduce the best.
Murph.
I would say 8.5, 9, something like that.
All right, we'll do 8.6. We'll lock that last one in. So, promo unit store. 8.6. All righty. I don't know if AP is streaming tonight. I'm gonna try not to overlap with him, so I gotta go a little quicker here. He might be. He might not be. I'm not seeing anything. All right. Next one. That was a fun one. That was a long one. All right, this is one we'll talk about because this isn't an official suggestion. All right, which one is this? All right, option to change the order of ammo types of any unit. All right, there are some units that have other attacks that I always use more than normal ones. For example, when I use the horizontal attack on the light chem tank, more often than I use a vertical one. Or for grinding SP for units or farming encounters with lightning dragoons, I always use the stun ammo first and then the normal one. Always having to swap manually with the ammo type and then attack is honestly annoying. I just and not just really that good, and it could give me arthritis. LOL. If you're playing Battle Nations and grinding, you're probably already going to get arthritis. I hate to tell you. We should be able to choose and change the order of ammo types so we can pick other units and attack them faster without having to worry about swapping ammo types. Crado saying it would be great if we could get the option to unequip an ammo type so that we don't use often or need them. In the end, it would hurt no one and give more customization. I just want to clarify one thing. You can unequip. Is it only that you can unequip ammo types if there's another one to replace it? Is that correct?
Listen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So with that, just quick score from me. Number 1, ease of implementation. I'm going to give this one probably 6.5. It'll take a little bit of design changes, but I can't imagine it's too hard. But I don't really know. This one doesn't seem like the easiest one to implement. It is a little bit of a redesign, but it doesn't seem too bad. In terms of player enjoyment, I'm going to give this one a 10. I think every player would love this. I don't see any downsides to this. It's frankly just customizing your loadout for your unit. I think people would love that. In terms of profitability for the devs, I'm going to give it I think it's a good quality of life improvement, but I think it could help bring new players into the game and people enjoying that schematics more. It's not going to get people to purchase necessarily, but it is overall a healthy quality of life improvement. For that, I think I'm going to go 7.5. Yeah, that's realistically where I stand on it, given all those 3 factors. I think this is a 10 out of 10 for me in terms of players enjoying it, but just with the other 2 factors. And the reason I'm factoring those in is as well as like I want the devs to be able to produce content that also benefits them, and they're able to put out quicker. So it's basically like, in what order do you want to see these things come out? So 7.5 for me. All righty. Murph, you went first last time. Emperor, you want to go?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what you said. I'm gonna have to, unfortunately, though, give her a 7.5 because while it kind of immediately stunned me as like no problem, what would be the downside? Just the changing of something this fundamental to the game would just upset people because of how big of a change it would be. I'm still okay with it. 7.5 though is my final.
All righty. Sally, you want to give a rating on this one? Going once. Going twice. Oh.
I would say I give it like a 5.
Okay. Alrighty, and Murph, bring us home here.
I think it's an interesting change, but it really is like it'd be a total bitch to balance it. That would make a lot of units kind of like you would. I can't really give like a specific example, but it would kind of. I don't know. You would basically never see a certain attack be used. Not only that, but it's also with certain units where it's like a specific attack is way better than its other attack, it would become like kind of OP. So I'd probably also give it probably like a 5. Like it's an interesting change and I can see it being really nice for quality of life stuff, but it's a giant change because you'd have to go through all the units that have that like potential and then change it. I don't know. It would take a while and it would be OP. So
what they can do is, this is just my guess on the backend code. But right now we do have some unit that has more slot than attack available. So Juggernaut at rank 2 is one example. You have two slot, but then you only have 1 attack.
Okay.
And it still works fine. So what they can do is that, like, let's say you don't want to equip attack 1, but only attack 2. Then just mark attack 1 is unavailable. Like basically same as like locking it.
Okay.
Similar to like when the attack is not available. Locking it, and then like when you load it in, it just load like the second attack in. Because it just sees first attack unavailable, not gonna load it.
Gotcha.
So that the framework is already there. I think it's probably like one day of coding. Not really one day, like a few hours to coding to get it done. But like it's mostly quality of life. It doesn't really bring profit per se.
All right, guys. I'm gonna file this one away as a 6.5. I think this is something good that I'd like to see down the line. Murph, I'm not really tracking. This isn't gonna make them OP because you already have the attacks. Does that make sense?
I'm just, yeah, that makes sense. I'm just saying that you can use that OP attack way more often. Like for the Ironclad, for instance, you could, instead of using the shitty second attack, you could only use the first attack. That's what I mean.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, perfect. All right. So 6.5 to that. We'll keep it moving here. Alrighty. Holy shit. I have a bunch. Yuzel, the Raptor trainer for Boss Strike number 1. Simple as the title says. Upvote this if you want this enemy type for the first Boss Strike. Would love the rewards that came with it in the past 2. Alrighty. Well, sounds like we're going to need to pull that up here. So let's look that up. And I don't know.
It is the ball. It's B10.
Okay. No, I'm not interested in AI. Oh, all right. So just taking a look here, I can see why they want these. These formations do not look very tough. They do not look tough at all. Damn.
Are you looking at like level 15?
I might be looking at level 15 now that I think about it.
Check Mirror Haze. It should have like, it should run faster.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, this one is level 15.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see why you want this. Yeah. This gives so many different rewards for the first boss strike. Okay, that's all. In my opinion, easy to implement. I don't think these are very hard to implement once they get boss strike going, and they're already working on it. So I'm going to give them a 9 for implementation. Again, I think they're already working on them. So for anything that's really just about coming around the corner, boss strike 9. Maybe I'll knock it down to 8 for implementation. In terms of player enjoyability, I'm going to be the odd man out here. I do not want them to overload us on units for the first boss strike. I really just want it to be 3, 7 in tier 10 and tier 10 repeating. Pick your units that you want for that. I'm flexible and open to them all. They don't have to be a certain unit for them. I know people want the B10 board to be the first one. I'm more open to all ears. The only change I would make is I would love for tier 3 and tier 7 to give 3 of the unit for each. When they give just 1 and no option to get another one, I don't love that. So if I were to make a change, it'd be 3 of them. This does seem like a lot of units here. And then last, in terms of enjoyability, yeah, I think, or in terms of profitability, yeah, I think, I don't think they're going to make too much money off this. Because again, it's just a boss strike. But I would say it is, like a 7. I think people spend money during boss strike a good amount, but to me, it's a 7. Yeah, it's a 7. So overall, I'm going to give this one. So what did I say? 8.5, 9, and 7. Let's call it an 8.2. I got an 8.2 on this. In my personal opinion, I would, because somebody was asking, I would like to see boss strike 1, Lieutenant Doran, be our first boss strike. I know people will not like that answer. I know that is, I'm taking imp stand here of doing an unpopular opinion. I don't want any game-breaking units to be released in the first boss strike because I think, just like we had with Z2, I think the first boss strike might be all over the place, and I want to make sure when we get the better units that the boss strike is running smoothly and everything like that. So I don't want people to get kind of that FOMO during the first boss strike. But I thought the Maverick is just iconic because everyone knows it as the first tier 10 unit. So I personally love that unit. It's not the best unit in the world. It's not the worst unit in the world. It's just a fun unit to use. But all right, Murph, thoughts on this one?
I would be very surprised and slightly taken aback if they did boss strike 20 as the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if they meant directly that. They might have. I guess they could have, but
I think they
I think
do.
having if we were to do something like that, I think the 5th boss strike, which was Yuzul, I think that one would be way more balanced. Although I don't think they should have Wild Boar be the first tier 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right there with you. All right, Emperor, what are you thinking?
Besides the rewards, I was kind of on board looking at those formations. Obviously, I know we were down at the lower levels, but you know that type of meat, raiders, raptors, animals, stuff that would do good against flame, I think would be great for the first boss strike. It would certainly give Salamander a massive buff during the first boss strike, right?
Oh yeah.
But my only downside is, we would have to go with something like boss strike 5, because there's no way we could do boss strike 20. That would just immediately destroy the air economy before it could even get started.
Yeah.
But yeah, boss strike 5 would be more reasonable, because you can start off with the Hurricane Hawker, what I see as like the most classic tier 3.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be, and of course that tier 10 would be the Borton, which I understand Murph's concern, because it would be like so cool, you kind of want to save it, but also I think you want to start off with something nice. So I think that would be kind of a nice in the middle. But yeah, boss strike 20 would just be insane. Imagine getting a flying Dexter fragment for tier 4.
Yeah, this is the one that I meant to talk about right here. I pulled up the wrong one, so sorry about that. This one looks a little bit more cooler, but yeah, B10 Wild Boar. I just don't know if I want that to be the first one. And that's really unpopular. As Jeff Bezos said, you're right. It should be tier 5. But no. Okay, and then Max, you got us? Alrighty.
So, wait, am I there? Hello.
Gotcha.
Okay. I do like Urizo as the first one, but usually, you may have noticed, Urizo is fire mod boss type. That means that is particularly easy because we have heavy camp now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like Urizo, and also the boar is like a nice bonus. But I don't think they're gonna roll like, well, no, I don't think like the first boss fight gonna be like boar 10.
No.
Yeah, and Urizo. Urizo is too niche.
Okay. Alrighty, so guys, final score. I gave 1. Any scores from the crowd here? Just shout them out.
I gave it a 5.
5.
I like it. I just don't think it's gonna happen. So,
All right, we're gonna put this one. We got to go quick here because we have a lot to get through. So I'm gonna go 6 on this one. Alrighty, all right. Next one. More interesting battle maps. This is from NCR Fragment. Alrighty, go ahead and show him a like here. Tile bans or making certain spaces in combat unusual would be a great way to make combat more interesting. It would require more thought being put into encounters and potentially make some harder or easier. There could also be tiles where only units of a certain type are allowed. We kind of are already seen this with whirlpools and some naval encounters, as well as the jungle levels that ban vehicles and IRC aircraft. We need more of this. We need more of it on our side of the field. The main benefit of this is making encounters and combat more, in general, more interesting and diverse, which is something currently lacking in Battle Nations. Example, mountainous terrain on the 5 left tiles that ban vehicles from being placed there. Random holes where only aircraft are allowed. Spikes are something that prevent anything from being placed there. Minefield/trench in the center prevents units from moving forward. Battles that have both sea and ground tiles. We've seen that before as well as many others that I'm sure myself and others could come up with. Yeah, desert background, yeah. Guys, spoiler alert, I love this idea. The only thing I would tack onto this idea is giving players the option. So if I'm going to do PvP, like Emperor, let's say you and I are doing some PvP here. We can, when we go to fight each other, there are these like random battle maps, right? With these effects. We can each place a mine on one part of the opponent's map before we fight, if that makes sense. That makes it unusable. That doesn't just randomly blow up a unit. It just makes that area unusable. And I think that would add a lot of fun or a lot of uniqueness to PvP. Might make some metas, might be way too unbalanceable, but just a thought for me. I love this idea. I really love this idea. I've always wanted to see this even back in the old game. This one's a 9 for me.
Dude, unironically, I think this would be a massive update and boost to the game because I'd argue the biggest complaint or like the most common complaint I get from maxed out, burnt out Battle Nations players is just they feel like, they get locked into a routine. They feel like, they get the best units, they get the best stuff, they get everything maxed out, they grind everything they can. And now, okay, they're waiting for multiplayer, they're waiting for more stuff to do, they're waiting for an update they can throw out, and now they're just, invincible, right? I think this would be awesome. This would give them more variety. This would be kind of like the escort missions in a sense, give them, something to do inside of a battle. But yeah, dude, land and sea together, like we've already seen that, as you said, in the game.
Yep.
Concepts like here where random holes where you can only use aircraft, spikes where you might be able to only place certain things. Dude, this just makes the game more fun and creative, and that's why I'm big in favor of it. It's my first 10 out of 10.
Terror's 10 out of 10. Okay, nice. Murph, off to you.
I also think it's a fantastic idea. Makes the game more interesting, makes it more engaging. I also will have to give it a 10 out of 10.
Perfect. And Sally?
yes, 10 for me. 9, 10. Probably 10.
All right. Well, I'm just going to give this one a 10. People love the battle maps idea. Guys, make sure to go show this one some love. People really do like this idea. Alrighty. All right. More interesting nanopods. All right. Slight adjustment to nanopods benefits. Holy shit. Okay, guys. I am reading Endless. I love you, man. But this is a lot. This is a lot. Okay. All right. So, Battle Nations is essentially a very pay-to-win driven game. And now the devs didn't have much say in this 10 years ago, but this time I hope they can look into it as well, as I think this will help the game for both longevity and involvement. As of right now, nanopods essentially come with lots of benefits, whether helping in base management or units that outclass non-nanopod units by an extreme margin. Now, this may cause lots of problems in exchange, but there's the ones that I'll be talking about are two. How this may lessen involvement of elitist events and for those who are free to play. And how this may harm the longevity of the game with how premium units keep on scaling with every level, or with every deal. Not the dev's fault, of course, just trying to talk about this. Holy shit. Okay. Unless you are not a brief person. Love you, man. But nanopod units premium, if I may suggest, can be adjusted in a healthy manner while still having a weight and value. It could cover those benefits. Premium units can have less SP needed to max. Premium units can require less resources to promote. Premium units can take less time or less resources to repair. Premium units can have less time to produce. Premium can have very slight increase in stats, enough to give a tiny advantage, but not enough to make free-to-play units be completely outclassed. Then, for example, they would just like heavier tanks could require more resources, more SP, and require more time to promote. This can really shift how the game works. Pinnacle units should be less aimed at premium units. Access through nanopods be and endless suggestion, yeah, and more aimed to be focused on rewards. Events like boss strike, boss drops, event boss drops, elitist units. Yeah, and what I said here, I've already commented on this, is I agree with the idea of creating event boss drops and having BS units be competitive to premium units, and I think it's a fantastic idea, but I'm skeptical of reworking existing units that are currently available. Yep, guys, just some of my thoughts here. I'm trying to go quick. That was a long read, and I really just gave the highlights there. I personally think that they should just make more they should make more units that are competitive with nano units. I don't want there to be any changes to nano units that people have already spent nanos on. I want those to be locked in. I don't really want to see any changes there. I think with the at level 49 right now, I just don't think there's too big of a curve. Like, I think the heavier is pretty comparable to the super. I know the mega is better than the heavier, of course, by a landslide, but so be it. As far as adding more ways to get competitive units, I think that's a 9. As far as adjusting the nano units, I'm kind of at a 5 for that. What do y'all think?
I love the concept of balancing in general. However, I think it definitely has to be taken care with the light touch. I love how you said it. Balancing units that are in the game is a little bit sketch because, I mean, even something like the medium tank, making it go from a nano to non-nano. Thankfully, that's pretty much a universally liked suggestion. I just fear, in the future, maybe units that, have already been masked up by certain people, certain nano units, changing them from, nano to non-nano could cause issues. And then, balancing them, not even the cost, but, their strength and their overall stats. I'm with you on that. I think this is very smart. I am just concerned about the, ramifications or feedback of any potential change that would be needed to make this happen. But overall, I'm going to give it a 7, 8. I'll give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Alrighty. Murph, over to you.
I think I agree. It's kind of tough rebalancing things because it can cause a landslide of like unintentional meta shifts, but I think that it's mainly I could definitely see it happening. They just need to take their time on it, or else it will cause lots of problems.
Yeah. Yep. And Sally, you want any thoughts here?
I've seen that one before. I like that idea. I do like how I like the approach from Endless. Basically, he wants to make the free-to-play unit just the end goal, like the ultimate form of the unit will be the same, like at least very similar.
Mhm.
But then like they will have like some. It is easier for you to get there.
Yeah.
That's also one thing I like. Also, like repair cost is also nice. I don't mind about much for repair cost, but I like the idea. I do.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Probably
go ahead.
8 or 9. Probably an 8 or a 9 for me.
All right. I got all tallied up. I got 7.5 here. And guys, I'm going to do I think I'm going to try and do 3 or 4 more here, and we'll call it a wrap. We'll go into next week. I know there's a lot of programming going on right now, so I don't want to interrupt that. But yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Seriously, like if y'all came, or if you know catching you on Replay Gang, I really appreciate it, guys. These are a ton of fun to do, and we will be back next week. So, alrighty, next one. Give us a grace period after level 50 before next boss strike. Alrighty, we got a long-winded. Well, this one's not that bad at all, actually. Was just discussing the likely content release schedule with my guild, and it has become readily apparent that the level 50 will cause problems for the competitiveness of boss strike in the first few months after we get it. Currently, if we were able to get level 50 tomorrow, Ancient Sentinel would only be defeatable using paid nano units. This means that only people who shell out lots of dollars will be able to even compete in a boss strike right after level 50, because the range frag will make that much of a difference. To avoid this problem, obviously, we will likely be getting boss strike number 1 at the current level 49 cap, which is great. However, we also have to get past level 50 at some point. So instead of giving us a boss strike soon after level 50 is unlocked, my suggestion here is simply delay boss strike number 2 for about 6 months after level 50 is unlocked. Additionally, alternatively, when paired with a suggestion like this one, Boss Rush Weekend, we talked about that one, you could prepare the player base with an initial amount of range frags. Maybe even a small amount of drop protection for the first drop if a faster boss strike cadence is desired. Regardless of whatever direction is taken here, please take into account that the power jump level 50 introduces when planning out the first few boss strikes. Lots of us have worked tirelessly to prepare for an exciting grinder battle for the first boss strike. Obviously, at some point, things will get less balanced, but I'm hoping that we can maintain the competitive integrity of boss strikes past level 50 using the above suggestions. If you have any additional suggestions / ideas around this topic, please contribute in the replies. All right, so first thoughts, and the one that kind of really took me aback, and this is the one I would say, no, probably don't do this. Do not have one boss strike and then have the next one 6 months later. Do we all agree on that?
Yeah, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that is very, very bad for the game. I didn't have a range frag ever. I beat it all the time. It has a 2% chance to drop. I don't know what y'all's experience was in the old game. I know people are really concerned about level 50 and how game breaking it's going to be. I think it's more so game breaking for PvP, maybe somewhat with boss strike. What do y'all think about this?
I think level 50. I'm sorry, Ed. We'll go.
Go ahead, Emperor.
Emperor, you go ahead.
Okay, my bad. I was just. Thank you. So yeah, I think level 50 is probably going to be was definitively going to be the biggest level drop when it happens. Not because of just how long we've waited for it, but also it's mega tanks. It's Ancient Sentinel right there. There's so much stuff that it's going to be game changing once it happens. I agree with this concept. My biggest thing is what I think we were kind of getting at too. I feel like guilds and therefore boss strikes are right around the corner, but I don't want to have a boss strike and then them release level 50 and then wait 6 months till we get, the next boss strike, So, yeah, I do like this concept. My only real concern with it would be figuring out, if we would actually want to hold it, if we would have that content prepared, and then just figuring out how that grace period is handled. So for that, I would say 7 out of 10 just because of the potential conflict I could see.
Okay, my thing would be I would almost have us go up to level 56 from 50 to 56. I think that presents a couple more options for taking out the Sentinel, right? Or am I tripping?
Oh, yeah.
I cannot
you're right.
comment. I cannot comment.
Murph, what are you thinking?
I think I understand what they're getting at. It does make some sense. Obviously, waiting 6 months for another boss strike, that would be a horrible business decision, but
Yes, that'd be a 0 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10 on the Z2 side
I
or the
do
Madrona
like
side.
I do like the idea of getting like a little bit of time to farm the AS and also get mega tanks to R6. I enjoy that part, but I don't know. It's kind of tough. I would probably give it like a 7.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go 6 here. You gotta amend. You gotta amend the 6 months. I don't I don't know. I'm actually a 4 here. I really don't think they should slow down on giving us content. Boss strikes are kind of a great way to rank up units too. I think more so I would fix it as just giving us all the way up to level 56, and maybe having some available units in the boss strike that can help with the Sentinel. I don't think delaying having one, like, essentially it'd be a giant tease if they give us one boss strike and then wait 6 months. That's a half a year.
Yeah.
Elemental troopers cost resources, not nanos. Gotcha, Spotted Boy. Yeah, I hear ya. I'm not as hip to the new units. I'm really focused with the units in game, but no, that's a good point. I'm probably gonna drop this one at a 6, guys. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. On to the next one here, which is no limit on infected units in battle. In OG Battle Nations, on the wiki, it says that there's an infected unit limit on Battlefield of only 4, and it had me thinking, especially after checking each infected stats. Why is that the case? I don't think any infected units outside of the Apex ones maybe are particularly strong. The strongest, a Colossus, is essentially just a weaker level 6 wimp. Oh, why not let those be who are lucky enough to have them who are lucky enough to have them have more than 3, spam 4, 5, 6, etc., and make them a bit more viable. Plus, it can also lead to a bit more fun battles. If someone wants to spend hordes of the dead upon Gantus' base and give his people crippling PTSD of the walking infected, let them, damn it. Maybe a limit can be placed only 3 Apex units when they eventually get added, but the power of the Apex units shouldn't hold back other units, especially when you can spam other much stronger units like supers, vets, megas. What do you guys think? I can't believe there's a limit on this. This seems so dumb.
Well, I mean,
It's just
there are some units that really should have that are normal units that we are about to obtain that should have a limit, like
Okay.
Maulers. Those should definitely have a limit.
Okay.
I almost think that the Apex unit, some of the Apex units aren't even that good compared to like the Colossus is like all right, gains an attack. Its ranking up process is infinitely more aids.
Yeah.
Same with the Mauler. The Apex Mauler is like infinitesimally better.
Yeah.
Not really. Still a worse grind. I agree with some of that, like creepers. Creepers are awful.
Mm-hmm.
Crawlers are pretty good. They could benefit from that. Cannoneers, same thing. They're pretty good. Could benefit from that. With like Maulers, it would be a different story. Having 8 Maulers on the field is OP as fuck for boss strike.
Well, Spud Boy, if you like Murph and you're saying he's based, make sure to go sub. And guys, just a quick ad break here. Make sure to sub to myself, Emperor, Murph, any of the Battle Nations YouTubers. Please go show some love to them. But yeah, I think once we get to that point, that's correct. I think what K-Mass is saying right here is I don't think there needs to be a times 3 limit on the in-game units currently.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give this one an 8. I think this is pretty good, but I think it might be subject to change as more infected come out. Is how my thoughts on it.
I could see it
gonna give
working
this
for
a-
like separate infected units, not all the same one.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Imp, what are you thinking?
Just gonna say an 8. Yeah, pretty much with the infected we have right now, there's no real reason for it. Once we start getting higher infected, especially some of the Apex, like the Apex Colossal, that beautiful tier 10, and others, possibly. But yeah, right now there's no need for it, so 8.
Yeah. Sally, you want to take us home here?
Well, it's a cool idea, but I neither love or hate it. So 5.
5. Okay. All right, that brings us down to a 7. All right, guys, the Battle Nations maps is at number 1. The promo unit store is at number 2, and Drifters Boss Fight Weekend is at number 3, by the way. Just want to give a little score update there. All right, on to the next one here. We're going a little faster. This is good to see. All right, lots of infected suggestions. People were really putting out some suggestions here. Dismantle for infected units. Give us a method for scrapping our unwanted infected units. Say I can recycle 100 proto creepers I have no use for to get some extra black nanos. What do y'all think about this?
Ooh, well, honestly, and I'm just gonna come out of the gate here and say no, because this comes the question of if we can recycle infected units, then we can recycle all units, and then that just breaks the entire balance of Battle Nations. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's certain units like Shock Troopers, Mortar Team, if you made a second one, to where you're never going to use them again. So if you could scrap infected units, I don't think it'd be a limit to infected. I think you could then scrap regular units, and then if you scrap a nano unit, does that give you a nano pod back? Well, then you open up a whole other can of worms. So yeah, for me, this is just too much of a can of worms. I completely understand where this person is coming from. The infected grind was annoying. We all went through that last month, and maybe if you somehow did a way to limit it to just infected, sure. But that would be my only fear. If you made it to where, like, oh yeah, you can take down the promos into the proto creepers into, one black nano each. Well, then can you do it with regular units? Again, my issue is just it opens up a can of worms.
You don't want to open up the floodgates, it sounds like.
Not at all. Absolutely correct.
Okay. Alrighty. I personally think that you should be able to do this, but it only grants you 1 black nano in return. Nothing higher than that. Pretty big stickler. I think anything else is going to be a little too game breaking. But yeah, if you do it at 1 black nano, I think I'm fine with this. Only make this for this because, in my opinion, I also have too many creepers. In my opinion, not to push back on you here, but to push back on you here, I just think infected is so unique in the way that occurs has never really affected. It's never really infected any of the other game mechanics, if that makes sense. So I like this.
Dude, I was just gonna say, yeah, my bad, dude. This is so hard sometimes, especially with multiple people. Want to make sure you don't overstep anybody. I was just gonna say, you're absolutely right, because as I was explaining it, I was like, well, the infected are kind of their own thing, and he did say specifically infected units. I was just thinking about crunching your units into more resources or a better unit. I was just thinking how that would unbalance the rest of the game. But no, you're absolutely right. If we can link it just to infected units, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So I'm at an 8 for this one. Murph, what are you thinking?
I think this change would be amazing for several reasons. Infected are kind of their own thing.
Yeah.
They are very special. It is the only unit that is like that.
Yeah.
I think, personally, I never got a Colossus, and I have whole bunch of these bullshit units that I'm never going to use.
Yeah.
Like 15 bullfrogs, 16 creepers. I'm never going to use those. I would love, even if it was just 1 black nano, I would love to be able to recycle them.
Yeah.
Plus, the fact that early game players will get a bunch of proto units, and they're not going to use those forever. Being able to scrap those into 1 black nano would be insane, because then they could recycle that into an archetype from a proto.
Yeah.
Add a hierarchy to it almost.
Or maybe even for if you recycle an arc creeper, you get 1 black nano, but if you recycle a proto creeper, you get a black nano fragment. I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
It could just be 1 black nano from a proto, and then maybe a archetype is 2 or 3.
Okay. I probably wouldn't push it any higher than 2, but yeah.
Yeah, 2 probably.
All right. So 8. Chat saying 11. What are y'all thinking here?
I think 10, honestly.
10. Okay.
8,
Yep.
9. It's a cool feature.
Alrighty.
9.
That gives us a conglomerate of 9 here. Fragments is crazy. Yeah, maybe I'm a little too I don't have a Colossus, so I'm not I'm not out here being like, well, I have them, nobody can ever get them. Yeah, Lightning Trooper and
You and
Lightning
me both,
Dragoon had
man.
never infected them. I never used to use them. I infect them instantly. Which one of them is best? Clay, guys, for Clay's here, I would say Lightning Trooper because it gives a better chance at a Arch Cannoneer, and an Arch Cannoneer is probably the second best infected unit currently available. Would you all agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. Alright. Alright. We just did dismantle infected. Here we go. This is a cool one. I like this idea, so oh, to use, not to infect, to use. This is a hot debate. I think Lightning Dragoon probably at higher levels, but Lightning Trooper at lower levels is my take on this. Lightning Dragoon just is kind of very squishy at lower levels. And by levels, I mean like R1 through R4. But, all right, from our friend of the show here, Mar the Slow, they're saying, since all the other bosses have respawning encounters, I would suggest we also make it happen for the Sandworm Emperor. Make it beefier than the mission version and let people try and take it on. Having also a chance to get a rare Sandworm frag after a victory would also be a nice addition. I think the only issue I see with this one personally is implementation might be a little bit tricky. But other than that, I think this is fantastic. I'm personally giving this one a 9.5. I welcome any other boss fights with open arms. I think boss fights are one of the best mechanics in the game overall with that lucky chance. Boss strike should be a red sandworm too. Yeah, I completely agree with that. That's a great take. Bump. People didn't know what that meant. What do y'all think about this?
I'm fine with it.
I thought. Yeah, who wants to go first though?
All right, Max is fine with it.
Oh.
What are you thinking, Ep?
Yeah, so I love this concept, not just because it has Emperor in it, but I mean because I love the design of the Emperor Sandworm. I think he looks extremely intimidating. So him as a boss just seems right. Like, I love the concept of him as a respawnable boss. The only change I would make here is even though they put in parentheses, I don't think this is what they were going to do. I wouldn't call it a frag Sandworm. I would just call it an Imperial Sandworm. And imagine just like a super strong adult red Sandworm with special abilities like the Emperor Sandworm. So literally like every other boss, just a miniature version of it, but I'm imagining like an adult Sandworm recolored to be red, and he has special attacks.
Perfect. Alrighty, Murph, what are you thinking here?
I kind of like what Emp said, where it's not like the boss drop is basically like a similar version. It's kind of like when you get the Phalanx from Goliath tank. I think another way they could do it is this, and I've voiced this opinion many times, but I think they should create a boss like this for each of the legendary animals, and that's the way you obtain the legendary critter. Because it would make it not a promo, it's not OP, maybe even it's a one-time reward, so afterwards you can never get it again. But I think it's kind of sad that the Emperor Sandworm, it's like one of the coolest, personally I think it's one of the coolest designs of a critter in Battle Nations, and it kind of just gets chalked up to be just a normal encounter where there's two of them, and it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
I think having it respawn like every 3 to 8 days, kind of like Sentinel or Goliath tank, but then it gains way more health, and maybe it like even scales kind of like what the Dreadnought does. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Anything for more boss strikes in the game, I'm giving this one a 9.5 out of 10. Quick rating from y'all. Oh, Max, I didn't mean to cut you off there at the beginning, by the way. What were you saying?
Oh, were I saying anything? No, I think I just said like I like that idea. It's cool.
Perfect. All right. What are y'all thinking then? Final rating.
Yeah, 10.
10.
Yeah, probably 10 as well.
10? Okay. Take us home, Max.
9, 9, 10.
Alright, I gave 9.5. We'll call it a 9.7. That is our number one winner right now. Alrighty, guys. Let's do one more and final thoughts here. And then we will have a part 2 to this. Don't you worry. I'll plan on doing it next week. But if we have guilds drop next week, we might have a change of programming, but keep an eye out for a post. I love doing this. Let me know if y'all like doing this in the comments. It's really cool seeing what the community has been suggesting for the game. And I know everyone loves to rate things, so that's been fun too. But yeah, I think this has been fun. And if you have any suggestions you want me to talk about next time, make sure to DM me and we will talk about those. But on to our last one here, SP share. Alrighty, here we go. Like that thing from Pokemon. I'm not Pokemon hip, so forgive me. But for Battle Nations, helps you rank units that you missed early on. Will be especially useful if the suggestion made here gets implemented. I don't know what SP share is. Do y'all know what it is?
Oh yes, absolutely. So in Pokemon, there is this item called an XP share, and you can put it on a Pokemon you're trying to train up, and you don't have to put it in battle. But if you fight and now gain XP, Pokemon that is holding that XP share will now gain SP, even though it wasn't in battle. So basically, if you're trying to train up a new Pokemon, you equip it with the item, and then you just use your good Pokemon to grind out XP, and it'll get a share of that XP just for holding that item. So this person, I imagine, is just posing the same thing. You give it to a unit in Battle Nations, and then you just train them. I'm not sure how you'd go about implementing that, but I think the concept is pretty freaking cool.
I would
You can
cost,
just make like
it would cost nanos, right? For sure.
Have to. Like how it works in Pokemon is it's a key item, meaning everybody gets it, but you only get one. So you can only use it for one Pokemon at a time, like training up your weakest Pokemon. But again, that's like an RPG, adventure. I'm trying to figure out how to correlate that to Battle Nations as opposed to what we have right now, which is, you drop them in the back, you let them shoot, and then...
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting idea. I need to know how it would work. That would be my only thing, really.
I'm kind of at a TBD for this one. I'm not able to imagine this. Like I understand what you're saying, but I don't like when I fight this unit also just gets SP. Like how's SP divvied up? This one needs to be a more fleshed out idea. You can't just I think this one just needs to be a little more fleshed out in my opinion. With that,
this idea fall into like a lot of games have similar system too. I think for Battle Nation, what you can do is that you can have a building that just give like passive SP over time, and then you have a tank. Now every time you do a battle and your unit is max SP, like your whims, that extra SP just go to that tank, and then over time that building disperse whatever SP is in that tank to all the unit that you put into that building. That way, like you don't need.
I like that.
You
I like
don't
that
need
idea better.
That.
Yeah, I do too. That because I hate using units where I can't use where I can't get SP since they're maxed out.
That would be so crazy for Boss Strike.
I give
so crazy.
like a 7 out of 10 to this idea, a 10 out of 10 to Max's idea, because unironically, Max just took this idea and made it perfect. I'm down with your idea now, legitimately.
Yeah, I'm so there with you. Alrighty, well, we're gonna give that one. I'm probably gonna give that one a 5 on my end. I'll add in parentheses Max's better idea.
Now I have to go and write that idea down.
Dude, you got it, dude, because I'm telling you, you just improved on it. Because legitimately, share XP, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10 simply because it was cool in concept. It just wasn't fleshed out. And then yours a 10 out of 10. Making it a building was like literally snapping the last puzzle piece in together. I think that's perfect. So yeah, make it a specific SP share building where like all overgained SP for already maxed out units goes to there. And then you can transfer it to another unit, and it's perfect.
Right.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, 6 for regular for Max's better idea, 10 out of 10.
Alrighty, guys. Well, I think that's gonna do it for today. Chat, is there an idea that you like the most? Kind of interested to see that. Please help. I'm gonna do a little self-promotion here. Please go blow up my idea for the add exclusive decorations for Boss Strike winners. I would love to see that in game. But that's a little self-promotion here, guys. First off, Murph, make sure to check out his channel. Emperor, make sure to check out his channel. We got Hauken in chat. Make sure to check out his channel, guys. We got a lot of YouTubers here. I really appreciate all the support. We have a great community. Let's make sure we're blowing everybody up. Who's the best cook out of all of us? Not me. I can do breakfast. That's all I got.
I'm
But
the worst.
anyway, Murph, Emperor, any stuff that's coming down the pipeline that you want to support? Any stream schedules? What are you thinking here?
Yeah, just keep an eye out for guilds, everybody. Tonight I'm going to be dropping a video about how to prepare for guilds. Pretty basic advice, but just for anybody out there. And yeah, that would be my biggest advice for the community. Just stay sharp, stay alert. Drop in next week for the next radio where we continue this. And of course, just keep an eye out for guilds, because if there is anything going to be changing, it will be that. Of course, Hobby, I'm sure we'll have to redirect next radio to guilds if they drop guilds this weekend. But assuming not, we should be good for next weekend to continue this. And yeah, just keep an eye out for guilds. A lot of stuff going on in the Battle Nation community. We appreciate having you here, and yeah, keep an eye out because it's getting exciting in here.
Oh yeah, Murph, you got anything?
Same thing. Just look out for guilds. Those are coming out soon. Also have a video coming out in the next couple days about Boss Strike, so that's gonna be cool.
Perfect. Well, guys, make sure to go check that out. I've also got Hauken in here. Make sure to check out Not Hauken. Lux, I appreciate it. I appreciate everyone who was able to tune in. If you're here on Replay Gang and made it to the end, that's awesome. Thank you so much. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you next time. Also, go check out AP stream. He's live now too. Bye.